Today, we're going to look at the chart for the year. And if you want to see more content like this, articles I've written and more videos, check out the app Daily-Horoscope. I've been putting my content on there along with other astrologers, so everything's in one place for you. You can check out the logo right here. Okay, so let's take a look at the chart and the things that I think are truly significant. And so what I ran was a chart with a 0 Aries rising and whole signs. Of course, I'm tropical, and I'm actually using the well, no, I'm not using Placidus houses because I just said I'm using a 0 Aries whole sign chart. Okay, so of course the number one thing that I see is super significant is Mars is at 0 degrees of Aries, sitting right, of course, on the Aries point. I find that extremely significant. I think that means that we basically can hit the ground running, that there is such a desire to take action from the very first moment. Now, the issue is, of course, it's a 0. The 0 says, I'm not sure where I'm going. I just want to get there. So this, one thing that I do find about the 0 is it's extremely optimistic, and that's great. So we're going to see a lot of optimism in people, but there isn't going to be a lot of direction. And so if you find that you're antsy, that you're feeling like you need to do something, this is when you pull out your goal list and ask yourself, well, what can I do specifically on my goal list that moves me forward? It might move you an inch forward. It might move you a centimeter forward, which I'm American, so I'm not sure if that's farther. I'll have to get a ruler. So, but if it just moves you forward just even the tiny bit, it's going to satisfy that Mars at 0 Aries. So the next thing I notice is the moon's in Scorpio, Scorpio being the co-ruler of Mars. So we have a very strong relationship between the 0 Aries Mars and this moon in Scorpio. Now, moon in Scorpio, of course, means that we're going to want to keep secrets, that we're not going to trust people, and that emotionally we're going to be looking for a sense of safety. So that to me means that most of the action we're taking can be reactions to things that we're nervous about. So it's going to be very important that you watch what you are consuming in the way of media and content so that you're not just consuming things that are going to scare the pants off of you and cause you to run around in a crazy way in all different directions. It is much better that you consume content that is helpful to you, that puts you in an emotional state where you feel the truth about things, which is that you're a powerful being, that you are co-creating with the universe, that you have more help and support than you may realize. Now, we also have Jupiter in Sagittarius, and Jupiter in Sag means that it is very much at home in Sagittarius. It is expanding for expansion's sake. That's not easy to say. It is expanding for expansion's sake. It just wants to get big. It wants to, whatever it is in your chart, it just wants to get bigger and bigger and bigger. And so, and of course, you know, if you don't even know your whole chart, if you don't know what time you were born, put the sun on your ascendant, and then you can say, wow, okay, if I'm a Libra, then Jupiter is in Sagittarius. It's going to be in my 3rd house. It's very easy to determine. And that would be, I want to expand the amount of content that I'm putting out there. If you're Aries, well, then Jupiter's up in your 9th house. That means you want to expand your education. You want to travel more. You want more fairness in the world. If you're Sagittarius, it's in your 1st house, and therefore you want a bigger presence out in the world. You want more energy. You want more vitality. And of course, you know, you could gain weight too. So you have to kind of watch that when Jupiter's in the 1st house. So look at where Jupiter is in your chart, but also think about just this idea of Jupiter in Sagittarius, meaning we're all wanting to expand just because we want more, and we want more and more and more and more and more. And that might be, you know, that you want more stuff, but it also could be that you want more, like I said, knowledge, or you want a bigger spiritual connection, or you want more friends, or find out where Jupiter is active in your chart. And then I think about Saturn in Capricorn, and Saturn has been here now. This is the second year, I believe. I'll have to check that. But Saturn is in Capricorn. It is moving towards Pluto. Pluto's in Capricorn also. And of course, of all the signs for Saturn to be in, this is the best sign for it to be in because it's its own sign, and therefore it's the most comfortable here. If it's going to be restricting and controlling, well, not controlling, but restricting and creating a structure around something, then let it be in the sign of restriction and structure. So, but Saturn here says that 1, you get respect and you get recognition when you work hard. 2, being more disciplined actually makes your life easier. And 3, it says go be really, really good at what you want to be good at. You know, go practice at it. Go really deep into it. You know, do that Cal Newport thing and do deep work. That's what Saturn is suggesting. It's also suggesting that your reputation is very important. Everything that you put out online, make sure that you're doing it authentically, that you're not just, you know, putting things out there because you think people are going to want to hear them, but put things out there because you believe in your heart that 1, it's you, and 2, that it supports other people. And this Capricorn will reward. And I guess finally, the thing that really stands out to me, oh, actually, no, there's a couple more things that stand out for me. First of all, that the Sun is conjunct Saturn. So everything I said about Saturn just now, double that. That means that the Sun, which represents us in the world, you know, our sense of self, our ego, our talents, our abilities, is sitting there with Saturn, which basically says, you're saying you can do this. Now put your money where your mouth is and show me you can do this. It says do something practical with what it is that your talents are. You know, this is to not hide your light under a basket. I know that's not a good analogy because this is an earth sign. So it is to say, build a monument to what it is that you can do. Do not keep sitting on your talents and abilities and not share them, but put them out there for people to see. A second thing that really stands out to me is that Saturn's at 11 degrees and Jupiter is at 11 degrees. And this is kind of that perfect balance of expansion and contraction. With this combination, you can do things in business very, very well. But they are semi-sextile, so it does mean that you have to cross into some territory that you might be irritated about, or you might feel a little stressed about. This might be that you don't feel comfortable doing video, but it's time for you to do video. Or you don't feel comfortable with technology, but it's time for you to get online. It could be that you're expanding into some area at work and you're not really sure about the new computer system or the new boss or something like that. So really kind of keep that in mind, that it's a semi-sextile. It's not a horrible discomfort. It's just like a little bit of like, you know, like, I'm not sure if I like this, but I'm going to go try and do it. And that's when you get success. And finally, the thing that stands out for me in this chart is the North Node has gone into Cancer. And if you guys aren't familiar with North Node, the North Node shows us our life path. It shows us where we're heading. And this is now moved into the sign of Cancer. So it's asking us how we feel about family, how we are interacting with our family, how we deal with home, what is home to us? Is home someplace that has to be, you know, this perfectly neat and tidy place all the time? Or are you a creative soul? And so you know, things get tidy and then they get really messy and then they get tidy again. Is your home have to be in a standard 3-bedroom house? Or are you living in a van conversion? Or are you jumping from country to country and just traveling through? Or are you moving into your tiny house? So it's a time where we're looking at redefining our life path in the relation to home, family, and how we're different than how we were raised, perhaps. Or should we go back to how we were raised and go back to the old ways? So lots of things to think about, very Cancerian energy. And that's it. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. That helps me so much. Check out that app that I was talking about, Daily-Horoscopes. It's really fun. Please subscribe if you haven't already. And if you are interested in Chinese astrology, check out my new book, Chinese Astrology 2019, Year of the Earth Pig. It's on sale at Amazon, and I'm very happy to say it's #1 in its category. I know there's a lot of categories, so it's not like number one, but it's #1 in its category. So that makes me happy. And if you've already gotten my book, thank you so much. I really, really appreciate it. And I will see you in the next video.